Hi, welcome to my video. It's a part 2 in a series about playing while standing up. The first video we just talked a little bit about why you might want to start a student standing up versus sitting down, and really just about how to get the bass held comfortably. Just a very quick recap. Stand comfortably. Soften your left knee, just relax like you're talking to a friend. 3 points of contact: the floor, the inside of the kneecap, the abdomen just above where the leg bends. You want to lean the bass into you. Control it comfortably with no hands, standing comfortably. Eye level about even with the nut, but anywhere between the nut and the first finger is generally acceptable based on the build and challenges of the individual in question. If you did not see that video about how to achieve this comfortable standing position, I'm going to put a link right there that can take you over to that very first video. You can give that a watch. This video, we're going to focus on taking the standing position and adding the bow into it. I'm not going to talk about German or French or about how to hold the bow. Hopefully there will be some more videos coming about that later. This is what I talk to kids about to help them understand how to get the bow involved playing standing. It can be a little bit tricky. We talk about the concept of equilibrium. One of the things you really want to have happen, one of the main problems you see with kids who are playing standing, is squeezing with their left hand, and they're holding the instrument up with their left hand. Now, if you understand and apply the concept of equilibrium to holding the bass, then you can get rid of a lot of those problems. Here's the thing. Equilibrium is balancing opposing forces. If you have two forces going against each other at the same amount, then nothing goes anywhere, everything remains in balance. This is the concept of equilibrium. When I go to play a note on the bass, I've got my instrument balanced, it's comfortable, I'm going to play an open D. Uh-oh, I knocked it down. Because what happened? I have balance, I took my bow and I added weight into the string, and as soon as I started playing, the weight of bearing down into the string appropriately knocked the instrument over. So that forces me to counterbalance with my thumb, and here I am holding the instrument up with my thumb, and that's a big problem. One of the first things I have my students do once they've achieved this, comfortably holding it with no hands, is I get them to bow open strings, also comfortably with no hands. Now, chances are you couldn't see in the video the way I have it set how I had to change the instrument to make that happen, because if I keep it perfectly balanced, I add pressure, knocks the instrument down. What am I doing to get a nice solid forte? Because you know I'm putting a certain amount of pressure into the bow, otherwise I couldn't get this nice thick forte sound. What am I doing to not drop the instrument? Well, what I'm doing is I'm shifting ever so slightly so that the bass leans forward. The bass is leaning forward, the bow is pushing back against it, there's equilibrium, there's balance, I can play. So I'm going to let go of the instrument now with my bow. I'm going to take my bow away, and there it is. That's about how far forward the instrument is leaning. So I go from balance, I lean the bass slightly forward, I catch it with my bow, I can play my open string with no hands. So that means when I'm going to play over here, I'm free to shift. My left hand is not encumbered by having to hold up the instrument. When I let go with the bow, you can see that the instrument is slightly forward. I will give the analogy that holding the bass is like an athlete. Anyone who's played any kind of sport like soccer, football, tennis, baseball, if you're in the outfield or playing shortstop, when you stand and you're ready for someone or something, a ball or a player to come at you, if you're standing up here and you're on your heels, it's going to go right by you every time. You always need to be on your toes with your weight a little bit forward. I talk to kids, this especially helps some of my boy students who have played a lot of sports, that you always want to keep the bass on its toes. Just a little bit forward. That way you can have equilibrium with the bow. That way your left hand is free, so this idea of being able to go in any direction quickly because you're up on your toes, the bass is up on its toes, shifting becomes very, very easy. Because you don't have to hold the instrument with your left hand, you can release release your hand, you can go wherever you need to on the bass, and shifting is very, very easy. This takes a little while to get the hang of because kids are going to go and they're going to lean it too far forward and they're not like this, and they'll be trying not to drop it. It takes a little bit of getting the hang of, but once you get the hang of it, it's not so bad at all. So you start with balance, bass goes on its toes, both some open strings with no hands, equilibrium, there you go. And that frees up so many of the things, and it solves so many of the problems that young bass players have who are playing standing up and holding the instrument up with their hand and leaning it back like this. Another thing that you can do to help kids keep the instrument on their toes is because they'll set up like this. And it's one of the first things I usually have to fix when somebody comes to me either as a new student at my school or as a private student is I have to adjust where they stand next to the bass. Usually when I see this happening, I'll tell the bass section, bass is on their toes, and that'll come forward. They'll say, lean the basses forward a little bit. They'll come forward. Or I'll tell them, take a baby step forward, please. Shuffle forward a little bit. And here you are, ready to play the bass with freedom of motion. So I hope this is helpful to you. If this helped you, please click like, leave me a comment, and subscribe to my channel. There's a link over here to help you do that. And until the next time, thank you. Hey there, I'm back. Just a quick thing I forgot to mention in that last video. I've done 2 videos now about holding the instrument standing up. One, just to help you hold the instrument comfortably with no hands. Another, this one you just watched, getting the bow involved. There's going to be a third one here in just a minute about getting the left hand involved and comfortable, and I'll go over some strategies for getting good shifting and having left hand position solid and comfortable. If you click on this link right here, it'll take you to that video on the left hand, or if you want to click this link right here, it'll take you back to that first video just about holding the instrument. Thank you so much.